Welcome to the session on engineering graphics. In today's session, we are going to see the development of triangular faces of hexagonal pyramid. So the problem statement given here is a hexagonal pyramid of base side 30 mm and axis length 60 mm is resting on HP with its base such that two of the base edges are parallel to VP and it is cut by a cutting plane perpendicular to VP and inclined at 40 degrees to HP, and it is also cutting the axis at a distance of 25 mm from apex. Draw the development of remaining portion of the pyramid. So we have to draw the development of remaining portion of the pyramid for this statement. So if we start with the drawing, so hexagonal pyramid of side 30 mm is resting on HP with its base. So the top view of this hexagonal pyramid would be a hexagon of side 30 mm, and all the slant edges would be converging at one point, that is apex O. So this is the O point we have got here. So all the points are converging here. So further we are taking the projector from this O and we are taking the axis length as 60. So with respect to this axis length 60, we are projecting all the points for the front view and we are getting the front view in this way. So now this is the top view and the front view of hexagonal pyramid of base side 30 mm and axis length 60 mm, which is resting on HP with its base such that two base edges are parallel to VP. So FP and PC are the two base edges of the pyramid which are parallel to VP. So further it is cut by a cutting plane. It is cut by a cutting plane perpendicular to VP and inclined at 40 degrees to HP and cutting the axis at a distance of 25 mm from apex. So I am taking the distance of 25 mm from apex. So once I take this distance on the axis, I can mark the angle from this point. So to mark the angle, I have drawn one horizontal line. From this point, I have taken the angle as 40 degrees. So 40 degrees with respect to this line means 40 degrees with respect to horizontal plane. So once I do this, I can extend this line further to get the complete cutting plane like this, and I can show the cutting plane with its representation as arrow and the name as SS. So once you place this cutting plane which is perpendicular to VP and inclined at 40 degrees to HP and cutting the axis at a distance of 25 mm. So that we have followed. So further when we are showing the arrow direction in this way, so remaining this portion of the pyramid is assumed that to be cut and removed. So to show that cut and remove, we have to make these lines as thin lines, and further we can go for the naming of cutting points. So here is the naming of cutting points. So to name these cutting points on the slant edges, we have to start with the top view. So top view from here, okay, so we have got this point O here. So from A to O, B to O, C to O, D to O, E to O and F to O, all these edges are cut. But when we are marking the cutting points, we have to always start from the extreme left corner. So extreme left corner is A. So from A there are two edges passing, A to B and A to O. So A to B is here, it is not cut, but A to O is here, A to O it is cut. So we are naming it as cutting point 1 dash. So as we are marking the cutting points on the front view, we will also represent them as a front view of cutting point, that is 1 dash. The next we have what A to B. A to B is here, it is not cut. Now B to O. B to O here. So we have what the B to O from here to here. So this is B to O and it is cut at this point. So we are naming the cutting point as 2 on B to O. So that is 2 dash in the front view. So further we have got B to C. So B to C is here. So B to C is not cut. So that's why we will not be having cutting point there. So C to O. So C to O edge is here. C to O. So C to O is cut by a cutting plane. So we are naming that point as 3 dash. Then C to D. C to D we have what here C2D, but it is not cut, so there will not be cutting point. Then D2O, D2O is here and it is cut by cutting point, so that point will be naming it as 4 dash. Then further D2E, so D2 is here, it is not cut, but E2O, E2O is here, E2O, and that is cut. So E2O is cut at this point, so again the cutting point is same as that of cutting point on CO, so we'll be naming it as 5 dash. So 3 dash is on CO and 5 dash is on EU. So we have the two cutting points. Then further E2F, E2F is not cut. Then F2O, F2O is cut here. So B2O and F2O are on same line. So B2O we have named it as 2 dash. So F2O will be naming it as 6 dash. So like this we have all the cutting points. Then F2A, F2A is here, there is no cutting. So all the 6 slant edges have been cut by cutting plane, and AO is cut at point 1, BO is 2, CO is at 3, DO is at 4, EO is at 5, and FO is at 6. So like this we have marked all the cutting points, and at the end you can connect this 1 dash to 4 dash, so that this will be seen as a visible line when you see the front view of this truncated portion of pyramid. So once you do this, next thing is that we have to develop the portion of this pyramid. So next we are going to see the slant edge line. So now we have got the 6 slant edges for the hexagonal pyramid: AO, BO, CO, DO, EO, and FO. So these slant edges will be having different length in the front view, and all will be having the same length in the top view. So in the top view, AO to FO all have got the apparent length, but in the front view there are few slant edges which are having the true length. So if you guess them right, it is AO and DO. So AO and DO are parallel to vertical plane. That's why their projection on vertical plane or views on vertical plane will represent their true length. So that is the true length is as measured as here 67.08. So if you measure on this side also, DO is also same. So AO and DO are the only two slant edges which are representing their true length in the front. So remaining BO, FO, CO, EO are not representing their true length. So if you measure them from this point to this point, see here, it is 61.85, which is not same as 67. So this is true length, this is apparent length of the slant edge. So as we do the development based on the true length, so we have to develop any part, so we have to have the true length. So here we are not getting the true length for the other edges. So what we do, we project all these cutting points on the true length of the edge. So here AO and DO are representing the true length. So we can project all these cutting points on these two lengths. So we'll be considering DO as the edge which is representing the true length. So we'll be projecting all the points. 1 also we are projecting it, 2 and 6 also we are projecting it, 3 and 5 also we are projecting it, and 4 is there on the DO itself. So once we project all these points on DO, where DO is representing its true length, so all the points will be having their true length from their respective edges. So AO, BO, CO, DO, EO, FO all will be having the cutting points with their respective distance from the apex. So this is the DO edge. So point 1 will be at a distance of 48.15. Then point 2 and 6 will be there at 35.37. Then 3 and 5 will be there at 23.1 mm, and 4 will be there at a distance of 19.6. So we have got the cutting points and their length on the true length of the slant edge. So once we get to know this, so we are going to draw one line having a true length. So true length is 67.08. So this line we are going to draw, and with respect to this line, this as a center and this distance as a radius, we are going to draw the arc. So this as a center, if we name this as center O, and this edge we are naming it as A. So OA is the true length of the edge, and O is the center and OA as the radius. We are going to draw this arc. So once we draw this arc, we can draw the remaining points on the arc. So first we have to draw this arc. Then from A to B, so A to B, from A to B we have what? 30 mm length. So A to B 30 mm length. So we are having a radius of 30 from A and we are drawing the arc there. Then from B to C, again it is 30 mm. So again from B as the center we are drawing the arc at same length, that is 30 mm, and we are getting point C. Similarly you will be getting D, E, F and back to A. So you will be marking all these points on the arc. So once you mark all these points on the arc, you can go to the connection of this. So you connect A to B, B to O, then B to C, C to O, C to D, D to O, D to E, E to O, E to F, F to O, and F to A and A to O back. So like this you have got the development of hexagonal pyramid. So this is the development of hexagonal pyramid. So if you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangular faces like this, and if you connect this AO to this AO, you will be getting a hexagonal pyramid. So this is the development of hexagonal pyramid. But we are not asked the development of hexagonal pyramid, we are asked the development of remaining portion of the pyramid when it is cut by a cutting plane having perpendicular to BP and inclined at HP at 40 degrees and cutting the axis at a distance of 25 mm from apex. So to do that we have to project all these cutting points on these triangular faces of hexagonal pyramid. So to do that, first we'll be starting with point A. So point A, the point 1. Point 1 is on this DO and the distance of this point is 48.15. So we'll be taking this O as a center and 48.15 as a radius. We'll be cutting one arc on AO, that is representing 1A, and the same arc will be extending on other side of AO. So 1 and 1. So we will be having the cutting point 1 and 1. Similarly, we will be doing it for 2. So for 2 distance is 35.37. So 35.37. So O is the center. BO from here will be cutting the arc of radius 35.37. So we will be getting 2 and 6. So similarly, you will be doing it for 3. So 3 arc we have drawn, that is a radius of 23.1. We have drawn 3 and 5. So next we have got 4. So 4 is at a distance of 19.69. We have got it. And now we have got all these points here. So once you have got all these points, we will be connecting them by thick line 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6 and 6 to 8. So once we connect all these points using thick line, remaining A to 1 or B to 2 or 3 to C, 4 to D, 5 to E, 6 to F, 1 to A. We will be making them thick, and A, B, C, D, E, F and A all will be made thick like this. So once you do all these things, you can erase the remaining lines which we have used for the construction like this, and you can show this is the development of remaining portion of the pyramid. It means that if you have the shape like this, and if you cut at 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1, so and if you connect this A1 to this A1, you will be get, and if you fold it at B2, C3, D4, E5 and E6, you will be getting a remaining portion of the pyramid, which will be called as development of the pyramid. Thank you.